Hey guys, DEK here. So this is going to be the review of Star Wars Battlefront 2. What you are currently watching is some of the campaign run-through I did on my live streams and on my Let's Play series. So this game came out back in 2017. I currently just played it for the first time through the story mode. I've played this since it came out, but didn't get into it as much as I did the first Battlefront. The EA versions of these games, in my opinion, are not as good as the old school Battlefront and Battlefront 2 games, but that's because of the space battles. I missed the space battles from the old Battlefront 2. Now, in this game, the campaign is kind of weird. So, it was marketed as you are part of a Imperial squadron, and you play as Iden Versio. So, the entire thing was play as the Empire. This is a campaign for the Empire. This is a Empire story mode, and that is not true. It is for about 3 missions, and then you go back and you're a rebel now. So that was a big missed opportunity, as I really want to play a game where you play the Empire the entire time as you thinking the Empire is the good guys and the rebels are the bad guys. I think that's a unique perspective that we don't really see much, and it would have been cool to have a story like that. But unfortunately, I can see why they wouldn't want to promote it, or at least go through with it, because they don't want you to be the bad guy. They want you to be a rebel. So that's a big thing about this. Now, with this game, the story mode is not bad. Like, it's a pretty good story mode, and it's a pretty good introductory to what the gameplay is going to be. Unfortunately, that's what it is. It's an introductory. And the story mode kind of ended before I was ready for it to end. So, I didn't feel like we accomplished anything. Or at least, what we accomplished was very insignificant to what the entirety of the plot was. So, as a defector, your father is like an admiral of the Empire. And it feels like this entire story was just, you realize what you're doing is wrong. You join the rebels. And then you try to save your father. He realizes what he did was wrong, and he goes down with the ship. And then you are a rebel, and it just kind of ends. Like, at least with like Rogue One, the movie Rogue One, it's a squadron which ended up getting the plans for the Death Star, and it was able to stop the Death Star, and they had a reason to fight, and they were able to get these plans to Princess Leia, and that's what started A New Hope. That is a really good story point. This is, the entirety is, oh well, I'm a defector. I feel the Empire is doing the wrong stuff. I changed my mind. I'm a rebel now. Okay, well, we gotta stop my dad. Oh, well, he knows what's wrong now, so he's fine, but he's dead. Alright, that's it. And then there's DLC. So, it is free, which is really good. They had a bunch of backlash at first from being the whole pay to win. But the DLC campaign mission is Resurrection. You know, it's pretty good. It's about an hour. I like the length. Resurrection is probably a little bit better than the main story. However, Resurrection is about finding out what the First Order is doing. So, your, I guess, husband or whatever finds out, hey, they have this thing called resurrection. We need to know what it is. Alright. This other guy who you, I guess, betrayed at the beginning of the game in the original campaign is mad because you didn't do what he said. So he's trying to kill you, and he goes after your husband, and he goes after your daughter, and he goes after you. And that kind of just happens, and then you find out that you're okay. We gotta do something. Well, you gotta find out what resurrection is, and you gotta get that to the rebels. So you go to you break into this rebel base, which is a really cool section. It's the best sections in the game. And then you find out what resurrection is, and you just find out they're babies, like they're stealing kids to make them stormtroopers, which you will see if you watch The Force Awakens, because Finn was a stormtrooper taken from his family. And then you'll also see it from Rise of Skywalker. They have a bunch of an entire crew. But you find these plans, and it's like, alright, well, their numbers are incredible. And then you find the ship schematics for a dreadnought, which is supposed to be like a Rogue One thing where it's like, oh, these Death Stars are so powerful, there's no way to defeat it. Oh, we got the schematics for it, he put a fault in it, we got this. So they found a dreadnought, they're like, oh, well, we need the schematics. They download the schematics. And then, they blow up the ship, they need to get out of there. They get revenge on the person that was trying to kill them. And then they find the rebels, and they're like, hey, we're going to give you this. And that's kind of the story. So, it was kind of disappointing, as it didn't really feel like anything mattered. Or didn't feel like it was important. Like Rogue One has the importance of, we gotta stop the Death Star. And if Rogue One would have failed, the Empire would have won. This one, it's just kind of like, if Iden Versio never existed, would anything have changed? Like, it doesn't seem like it. It really doesn't. And that's kind of the issue with the story mode. Now, the story mode is really good. I do like it. It took a while for me to get through it, and I kind of forced myself through it, which is kind of a bad thing. But it's just it's a hit and miss. Some of the parts were amazing. Some of them were just kind of dumb. And that's just kind of how it is. Now, with the campaign, yeah, it's worth a playthrough. I'll play, might as well. If you have the game, it's a short playthrough. You can get it done in like 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Pretty, it's so-so. Now, the multiplayer has really updated since its release in 2017. So they've been adding maps, they've changed the monetization because it was awful at first. They fixed about a bunch of bugs. They've got a bunch of redesigns. So originally the characters didn't look that good, but now they look pretty good. They look fine. And that's a really good thing for you to have in a game, especially a game like this. Now, they are doing bug fixes and stuff, but they are no longer doing big updates. So no more new characters or new missions or anything like that. And that's possibly because DICE is working on Battlefield and possibly a Battlefront 3, maybe. EA does still have the exclusive license to Star Wars for the next 3 years. So, they're supposed to be having a Fallen Order sequel coming out by Respawn. DICE might have a Battlefront 3. Who knows? There's definitely more things they can do to this game. And then the other Criterion's doing their own thing, and Motive just released Star Wars Squadrons. Very, very good simulation style starfighter game where it's 5-on-5 starship battles. Because first person, you have to, change everything. Pretty good stuff. So, they're working on other things. So, they're not going to be supporting this game very much. Now, with that stuff, the big thing about it is, how is it left? Well, the multiplayer is actually really fun. It's got a bunch of very good game modes. You got your space battles, which is pretty good. And you've got, huge fights, players on players. A big thing Battlefront always does really good is AI. So you got both players you're fighting against and AI. So if you're someone who's not very good at first-person shooters, you're still getting, 10, 15, 20 kills because you're killing AI. And that really just has a feel of accomplishment. It feels like you're actually providing stuff for your team and you're kicking ass. Very good way to do a game like this. And then my favorite is like Heroes vs. Villains. Classic mode from Battlefront 2 in 2005. You got Jedi, Sith you could pick from. Very cool. I always try to play like Anakin and stuff like that. It does have the thing where only one exists in the universe, so if two people want to play as Anakin, it's first come, first serve. And, that's alright. You play who you play. People are going to have favorites. Anakin's always a favorite. Darth Vader's always a favorite. Boba Fett is always a favorite. Nobody plays as Rey. Nobody plays as Iden or Versio or whatever. And that's just kind of how it is. Now, that's all good. The issue is like, one of the things I don't like is when it comes to heroes in regular game modes. So, you can play as a hero like, say, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, or Anakin, or whoever, in a regular game mode, but you have to have points. So the more kills you get, the more points you get. The more you play the objective, the more points you get. But there is a limit on how many heroes there are. So it doesn't have everyone unlocked. So if it's a Force Awakens era game mode, it's not going to have Anakin or Obi-Wan or any of that. It's going to have Rey, Kylo, BB-8, and those characters. So you might have 3 heroes, and you might only be able to have 3 heroes. And heroes last a long time. And really good players with heroes last a very long time. They could get a hero at the beginning of the match and never die, and just keep that hero their entire game. That's where the problem comes in, because if you're with other players that are really good, especially in these real big games where you have, 10 on 10 or 20 on 20, whatever the size is, you might not be able to be a hero. And that's kind of the negative on there. But how I see it is, Heroes vs. Villains is a good way to do that. It just kind of sucks because the one time you might have enough points to get Yoda, you might try to click Yoda and it's like, there's too many heroes out. There's already an Obi-Wan and an Anakin. You can't play as Yoda until someone dies. And that could be negative about it. Especially when a lot of times they die towards the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. And then by the time it loads and you have to wait your little respawn timer, you might not actually be able to do anything with him. So that's a negative, but there are positives to this game. This game, although I would say the campaign is about average, I would say the campaign was about a 5 out of 10. But the multiplayer is where you're really going to be playing. And the multiplayer is really fun. You're going to come back to it a lot. It's one of those things that's always going to stick with you. You can always just put it in, do a quick, 30-minute game, and then be on your way. And that's a really good thing for Star Wars. And for fans that like to shoot stormtroopers or whatever. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give, in the state that this game is currently at in 2020, this game is definitely going to be a 7 out of 10 for me. I do recommend it, especially now the price is really lowered. As to where this game was more of a 4 out of 10 at launch, they really upgraded it and they really fixed some issues. They really backed off on the monetization and they really improved the overall quality and the, what would be the word? The overall, overall fun you get out of the game. So, the overall quality in general. So, I have to definitely recommend this. You already probably play it. I'm doing this thing now on a DEK review channel where after I beat a game, I want to do a review of the status it was in when I beat it. So this could mean on like Marvel's Avengers case or Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. I reviewed it as soon as the game came out after about a week. Or it could also mean I played this game from 2017 and I'm going to go ahead and review this game in 2020. So that's just kind of where I'm sitting at. And I gotta say, 7 out of 10. Really good game, really fun. Definitely check it out. One big issue is invisible stuff. That's kind of a thing. So, right now, I'm recording this over a video that's playing. As you know, you're watching. So, with this video, it's going to pop up here in a second where it says, I got a crate. And that's all cool. Crates how you unlock stuff. By playing campaign and stuff, you unlock crates. But also multiplayer, you can buy crates. And you can also purchase crates for real life money. But when you come through it, some of the times where it says, oh, you got an item, you click on it. And it's supposed to have these disk drives that fly out of the crate. It pops up on the screen and it shows you different colors and it's like green, blue, purple, whatever. And you got this emote and it shows you the emote. Or it says you got this gun and it shows you the gun. Or it's like, oh, you got this outfit for Count Dooku. And all that kind of stuff. So we'll pop up. See, it's opening now. The disc flies out. You don't see the disc. You don't see the screen. I got a coward emote thing. You don't see it. It's not there. And that is an issue that you have with pop-ins. And this stuff not loading, or loading very slowly. But that's a minor thing. You still get the item. You just can't see it on that preview screen. You have to go in and find where it was. But that's where I'm going to stick at. 7 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all later. All the links are in the description, whether you want to go to this DEK Star Wars channel to watch Star Wars content, DEK Arcade to watch other Let's Play content, or you just want to stick over here on the DEK review show and just watch reviews and whatever else I post over here. Alright guys, well, this has been DEK, and thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all later. May the Force be with you. Always. Bye.